Have you ever said something to your adult child that instantly made the room go quiet? What if your words, even with good intentions, are secretly pushing them away? Let's face it, aging parents and adult children often walk a tightrope between love and frustration. While the bond is rooted in care, even small phrases can accidentally wound. Outdated expectations, guilt trips, or comparisons can turn heartfelt conversations into minefields of misunderstanding. In this video, we're unpacking 5 toxic phrases that elderly parents should avoid and swapping them with language that bridges gaps instead of burning bridges. Stick around, because these seemingly harmless comments can unknowingly plant seeds of resentment, create emotional distance, and even rewrite how your child sees your relationship. But don't worry. By the end of this video, you'll learn exactly what to say instead to rebuild trust, foster connection, and leave guilt trips in the past. Words are like keys. They can lock doors or open them. Let's choose the right ones. You never visit, call me enough. We've all felt that pang of loneliness when days or weeks pass without hearing from our adult children. But starting a conversation with "you never visit" or "call me enough" might seem like an honest expression of hurt, but it often does more harm than good. This phrase, though rooted in love, carries a hidden edge of accusation that can leave adult children feeling like they're failing their parents, even when they're doing their best to juggle work, family, and personal responsibilities. Guilt tripping rarely inspires connection. Instead, it puts adult children on the defensive, making them feel criticized rather than missed. The subtext they hear is, "You're not good enough," which ignores the reality of their busy lives. For example, adult children might already feel stretched thin, and framing their absence as a personal failure adds pressure to meet unrealistic expectations. Over time, this dynamic turns visits or calls into obligations rather than moments of genuine bonding. Take Margaret, a 72-year-old mother who told her daughter, "I guess you're too busy for me," after a missed weekly call. Her daughter, overwhelmed with a demanding job and parenting 2 young kids, immediately cancelled plans with friends to visit, but not out of joy. She came out of guilt. That resentment simmered. What started as a loving ritual became a chore, and their conversations grew shorter and less meaningful. Margaret didn't realize her words had turned their relationship into a guilt-driven transaction. The fallout. Resentment builds on both sides. Parents feel neglected, while adult children feel unappreciated for the effort they do make. Margaret's daughter began associating her mom with stress instead of comfort, creating emotional distance. This cycle often leads to fewer calls and visits, not more, the exact opposite of what parents want. The solution: reframe the conversation with vulnerability, not blame. Instead of saying, "You never call," try, "I miss you. Let's plan a lunch together soon. I'd love to hear about your week." This approach invites collaboration rather than confrontation. It acknowledges your feelings without weaponizing them, giving your child space to engage willingly. By focusing on excitement for the future instead of disappointment in the past, you'll rebuild connection one guilt-free conversation at a time. Why can't you be more like sibling other person? Few phrases cut deeper than comparing your child to someone else. Even if you mean it as motivation, saying, "Why can't you be more like your sister?" Or, "Your cousin has her life together, why don't you?" might seem harmless, but these comparisons strike at the heart of an adult child's need for acceptance. Every time you measure them against others, you're sending a silent message: who you are isn't enough. This breeds insecurity, rivalry, and a lingering fear that they'll never truly earn your approval. Comparisons don't inspire change, they create resentment. Adult children crave validation, not reminders of where they fall short in your eyes. For example, When Tom's dad praised his sister's stable career as a lawyer, Tom, a freelance artist, felt his creative passion was dismissed as frivolous. He stopped sharing updates about his gallery shows and commissions, fearing his dad would never see his work as real success. Over time, their conversations became superficial, stripped of the vulnerability that once connected them. The fallout. Sibling relationships suffer too. When parents pit children against each other, it poisons family dynamics. With unspoken competition, Tom's sister felt uncomfortable with the praise, sensing her brother's withdrawal, while Tom grew distant from both his dad and his sister. What started as a casual comment fractured trust and silenced open communication. Parents often don't realize that even positive comparisons can alienate children, making them feel like love is conditional on achievement. So how do you fix this? Start by celebrating their uniqueness. Instead of holding up a mirror to someone else's life, shine a light on their journey. For Tom, this might sound like, "I admire how you've carved your own path. Tell me about what you're working on." This simple shift acknowledges their choices and invites them to share without fear of judgment. It replaces criticism with curiosity, showing you value their story, not someone else's. By focusing on their strengths and passions, you rebuild their confidence in your relationship. Tom's dad eventually asked, "How's your latest project going?" And for the first time in years, Tom felt seen. The conversation reignited his excitement to share his art, and their bond grew stronger. Remember, your child doesn't need to be like anyone else. They need to know you're proud of who they are. "When I'm gone, you'll regret not listening to me." Threatening mortality to win an argument, like saying, "You'll regret this when I'm dead," might feel like a way to emphasize your wisdom, but it's an emotional grenade. This phrase weaponizes love, turning a parent's guidance into a prophecy of guilt. Instead of fostering understanding, it hijacks the conversation with fear, leaving adult children feeling manipulated and emotionally cornered. What's meant as a plea for respect often sounds like, "Your choices will haunt you," shutting down any chance for meaningful dialogue. Using mortality as leverage doesn't teach, it terrifies. By framing disagreements around your eventual death, you force adult children into a no-win scenario: comply out of fear or risk living with regret. Take Edith, a 68-year-old mother who clashed with her son over his decision to divorce. Frustrated, she snapped, "You'll wish you'd taken my advice when I'm dead." Her son, already heartbroken and stressed, didn't feel heard. He felt threatened. The comment left him dreading future conversations, worried every talk would spiral into morbid ultimatums. The fallout. Trust erodes. Edith's son began avoiding calls altogether, fearing another guilt trip. Their relationship, once built on mutual support, became a minefield of unsaid anxieties. Parents who use this tactic often don't realize how deeply it isolates their children. Instead of feeling guided, adult children feel judged for their autonomy, as if their parents' love hinges on obedience rather than acceptance. The fix: swap fear with empathy. Instead of invoking mortality, express concern without judgment. Edith could have said, "I worry because I care. Can we talk about what's on your mind?" This gentle opener invites honesty instead of defensiveness. It shifts the focus from "I'm right, you're wrong" to "I'm here for you," creating space for vulnerability rather than resentment. When Edith tried this approach, her son finally opened up about his struggles. The conversation wasn't easy, but it rebuilt trust. By dropping the doom-filled warnings, Edith showed her son she valued his feelings over being right. Remember, fear closes doors, empathy opens them. Your child's choices may differ from yours, but respecting their agency keeps your bond alive long after the argument fades. "That's not how we did it in my day." It's natural to reflect on the past, but phrases like, "That's not how we did it in my day," can come across as a dismissal of your adult child's choices, whether they're parenting differently, pursuing an unconventional career, or embracing modern lifestyles. While you might intend to share wisdom, this comparison often sounds like a verdict. Your way is wrong, and mine was better. It undermines their autonomy, making them feel like their decisions aren't respected or trusted. Dismissing modern approaches doesn't just critique their methods, it critiques them, whether it's screen time, discipline, or career paths. Implying their choices are misguided erodes their confidence. For example, when Linda's grandson was diagnosed with ADHD, she scoffed, "Back in my day, kids just behaved." Her daughter, already overwhelmed by parenting challenges, didn't hear concern. She heard judgment. Linda's words made her feel like she was failing, and she stopped involving her mom in parenting discussions altogether. The fallout, a rift forms where collaboration could thrive. Linda's daughter began to see her mom as out of touch, not as a source of support. Conversations about her son's progress or struggles dried up, and Linda missed out on milestones she could have celebrated. What started as a generational difference in perspective became a wall of silence. Parents often don't realize that clinging to how things were can shut down opportunities to connect over how things are. The solution: replace judgment with curiosity. Instead of shutting down their choices, ask questions that show you respect their autonomy. Try saying, "Parenting today seems tough. How are you handling this? I'd love to learn." This simple shift invites your child to share their reasoning without fear of criticism. It positions you as a student of their experience, not a critic of their choices. When Linda tried this approach, her daughter hesitantly opened up about her grandson's ADHD strategies, like therapy and sensory tools. Linda listened, asked questions, and even admitted, "I never thought about it that way." Their relationship shifted from tension to teamwork. By embracing curiosity over comparison, you honor their autonomy and keep the door open for your wisdom to matter. After all, guidance lands best when it's invited, not imposed. "I guess I'm just a burden now." Phrases like, "I guess I'm just a burden now," might sound like self-deprecating humor, but they're often a cry for reassurance, one that traps adult children in a role they never signed up for, emotional caretaker. While the intention might be to express vulnerability, this kind of self-pity shifts the focus from mutual support to one-sided guilt. Adult children feel pressured to constantly soothe their parents' fears, leaving little room for honest, balanced conversations about needs and boundaries. Self-pity creates an emotional tug-of-war. By framing yourself as a burden, you force your child into a cycle of reassurance where they feel responsible for your happiness. For example, after moving into assisted living, Carl often sighed, "Don't worry about me, I'm just a burden." His son, already juggling a demanding job and young kids, interpreted this as a plea for constant attention. He started visiting daily, skipping his own self-care and family time until resentment and burnout took over. The fallout: guilt replaces genuine connection. Carl's son began to dread visits, seeing them as a duty rather than a choice. Meanwhile, Carl sensed his son's exhaustion, but doubled down on self-critical comments, hoping for more reassurance. This toxic cycle left both feeling isolated. Carl misunderstood his son's overwhelm, and neither felt safe to voice their true feelings. The solution: shift from self-pity to collaboration. Instead of framing your needs as a burden, acknowledge the transition openly. Try saying, "I'm adjusting to this new chapter. Let's figure out what works for both of us." This invites your child into a partnership where their time and energy are respected. It replaces guilt with teamwork, allowing both of you to set realistic expectations without resentment. When Carl tried this approach, his son suggested alternating visits with video calls and involving other family members. The pressure lifted and their time together became more meaningful. By focusing on collaboration, you honor your child's limits and your own worth. After all, aging isn't a burden, it's a shared journey, and navigating it together keeps love alive without the weight of guilt. Conclusion: words hold the power to heal or hurt, especially with the people we love most. By swapping these toxic phrases for connection-building language, you're not just avoiding conflict, you're rebuilding trust, respect, and joy in your relationships. Remember, it's never too late to choose empathy over criticism. Thank you for watching. If this video resonated with you, drop a 1 in the comments if you'll try these tips, or a 2 if you've heard these phrases yourself. Let's keep the conversation going. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for more ways to strengthen family bonds. Until next time, choose your words wisely and love boldly. Bye for now.